In a parked vehicle, Scott becomes agitated. Abby appears with a motel room key and asks if he's okay. He reassures her. Scott remarks that Zach's car is out back and now is the time to act. He insists on going in alone, but when he busts into the motel room, Abby joins him. Scott is about to phone the police and their families when Zach enters and holds them at gunpoint. Bickering ensues as Zach insists he wouldn't have left Abby in the storage unit to die and tries to convince her they're fated to be together. Abby stuns Scott when she tells Zach being trapped gave her time to reevaluate her whole life. She realized her family doesn't care about her and that she truly does love him. She agrees to run away with Zach if he spares Scott's life. Zach mocks Scott, who will never have Abby, and notices a look passed between them. Zach demands to know if they had sex. They deny it, but Zach tells Abby she's just like the girls on his payroll and they're trash. He hollers they deserve what they're about to get. A shot rings out. In their penthouse, Nick grouses to Chelsea that he just found out the woman he's living with is a con artist on live TV and slams out the door. On the patio at Crimson Lights, Ravi tries to reassure Ashley that Abby will be found. Ashley spots Victoria and attacks her for the press release she issued. Victoria defends herself and suggests Abby could be hiding out at a spa waiting for the crisis to blow over. Later, Nick arrives and discusses the press release with Ashley. He loves Victoria, but agrees it was out of line. Chelsea appears as he's saying goodbye and wants to continue their discussion. Ravi asks Chelsea if she's the girl from the Hillary Hour. Chelsea screams that she's the new scandal queen and Nick walks out. Paul arrives at Newman with an update. Victor asks, "What do you have?" Paul shares the bad news that they haven't found Abby, Zach, or Scott, and talk turns to Newman Enterprises having big problems related to funding a sex ring. Victor lays into Paul about the FBI's actions against his company and threatens to file a suit against the incompetent GCPD. Later, Victoria arrives in time to hear Neil complaining to Victor that she didn't take his advice on the press release. Vic sides with Victoria. Neil respects their decision, but worries deflecting blame could backfire. Victor feels they'll attribute it to Abby's inexperience and she'll be fine. After, Vicky stops Neil in the hall to ask him not to undermine her position to her father. Neil assures her he's on her team. Victoria defends her cutthroat approach, he should respect it or get out of her way. Neil reminds Victoria what unchecked power has cost her father. Victoria snaps, "I'm not my father." Neil replies, "Not yet. Be careful what you wish for." At the Abbott mansion, Jack introduces Dina to a doctor. Dina insists she acted in self-defense against Nikki and wants to drop it. Jack says they can't do that. The doctor wants to do some cognitive tests with Dina. She's more concerned with whether he can remove her chafing ankle bracelet. Jack remains in the room as they focus on the task at hand. Dina answers a series of questions and becomes frustrated when she stumbles on two in a row. After a break, Dina is asked to draw a clock showing the time as 9 p.m. When Dina is clearly unable, Jack snatches her paper, crumples it, and ushers the doctor out. He promises Dina everything will be fantastic from now on. After, Ashley arrives, reports no news about Abby, and Ashley grills Jack about Dina's doctor's appointment. Jack gets defensive. Ash sees Dina's attempt at drawing a clock and informs him something is very, very wrong. Jack gets emotional as Ashley urges him to face reality. Their mother has Alzheimer's. The siblings embrace tearfully. Back at the penthouse, Chelsea worries about her business, but Nick points out she should be more worried about explaining this to Faith. He is also concerned of what she'll think of the underground fiasco and explains the insurance company called and they're not paying the claim and accused him of arson right after his girlfriend was revealed as a con. He quips that they could share a prison yard. Nick grills her about Jordan and wonders if she's married to him. Chelsea protests it was all just a scam. She moves in clothes. "I never conned you." Nick remarks that's just what a con would say. Chelsea informs him he won't be sleeping in their bed tonight. Next on The Young and the Restless, Victor hollers, "I don't want it to take a long time, Neil. You've got to deal with this and put it away." Sharon takes a call from Paul, who says, "It's Paul, you need to get to my office right now." Ashley answers the phone and asks, "Paul?" Jack looks on with concern.